Hi, wrestling fans. Thanks for clicking today's Dreaded D-Rose Report. Hope everybody had a great weekend. Apparently, Punk did, since earlier Punk made a comment on his Twitter about the Pope being a Nazi. Fans have been tweeting, and WWE's Twitter account been complaining. And Punk retweeted one complaint from a fan and told the fan to unfollow him, will you? And to let you know, I'll talk about here in a while. They had a match, forgot where it was now. I think it's in Springfield or somewhere like night before last. And it was a tag match, pardon me. And Ryback and The Miz, they were tagging together. They both had, getting ready to do a suplex. And I guess Ryback held Cesaro up in the air for like 45 seconds. And The Miz did CM Punk that way. He only held him up for about 10 seconds. And of course, when you're up like this, you fall backwards. There's your suplex. Not much of a suplex, but anyway, when The Miz did it to Punk, he had him up for like 10 seconds, and he went straight down, and right down on the back of Punk's neck. I guess it wasn't too pretty either. Punk kind of rolled out of the ring, and he was off onto the floor, and they were checking on him for quite a few minutes, from the way I read. Anyway, let me get through this, and I may fill in some stuff. I just wanted to let you know about that, and about the Pope. I didn't know if you knew about the Pope or not. Didn't know that. Punk is just full of information, ain't he? All right, word is that cable providers, TV guides and everything is listing. Now, you guys that do DVRs may want to check this out. They've been listing each hour of Raw as an individual show. So if you click on the first one to tape Raw, you're going to get the first hour, not the 2 hours following. So, and some DVRs has the whole 3 hour, block, but some of them don't. Anyway, this is going to cause issues with fans attempting I don't know whether this just first happened or what, but they just talking about just on tonight's show. So far, we heard Comcast and RCN are experiencing that issue. So if you got a DVR, double check that you're going to have the whole show on tape or on disc, whatever you want to call it. Hey, according to WWE sources, this is what I was getting ready to say. CM Punk definitely got banged up Saturday night. Live event in Springfield, Missouri, when The Miz botched a suplex, nearly dropping him on his head. Actually went on to the neck. I don't know if that's lucky or not lucky. But anyway, it's not believed that Punk suffered a concussion or anything, but he took a heck of a nasty bump, which could have aggravated, some other issues that Punk had been dealing with. He expects to work tonight's Raw. And for those wondering, he did not appear to be, or Miz didn't seem like he had any heat on him following the incident. But Punk did get back into the ring, and I think they said he was just kind of hanging on the ring ropes and rubbing the back of his neck with his arms and he kept massaging, this one arm, or one hand, which I think was tingling. So, but he got in there, I think, for another 1 or 2 minutes, then Ryback ended up getting the pin on Cesaro, I think. Anyway, talks are said to be serious about Michael Lucci, something like that, of WWE Studios, and the producer of the planned Bruno Sammartino film. No deal is in place yet, but WWE's interested in the rights to the movie, and produced by George Rosenfeld, and written by Rosenfeld and Paul Gray. The script has been completed. It covers the Bruno Sammartino's life. Now, this could be really interesting for you history people. From 1943, when the Nazis took over Italy, until 1995. Dolph Ziggler, AJ Lee is going to be doing media events in Nashville to promote Raw. After not being used on last week's TV, they're scheduled to appear on tonight's Raw, so we'll get to see them. Isn't that nice? As noted earlier, CM Punk, he suffered, I was telling you about the injury, in a spot. Anyway, Punk insists that he's fine, and there's concern within WWE, and he's not really fine. And he's just saying that because it's WrestleMania season and big money. So, hope he is fine. Happy birthday to four-time TNA Tag Team Champion Hernandez, 40 years old. Former WWE Intercontinental and NWA World Champion Ken Shamrock, 49 years old. R-Truth and Natalia, by the way, is going to be appearing at the Bryant Stratton store in Silver Spring Road, Milwaukee, Wisconsin on March 10th, 12 p.m. Please make a note of it. And earlier, DirecTV issued a survey. Now, this is kind of odd. Issued a survey over the weekend to gauge customers' interest in the WWE Network. So they kind of threw us a little rod. The price points they surveyed of fans were on $12.99, $14.99, $16.99, $24.99, or $29.99. Which why would anybody say, no, don't want the $12.99, I want the $29.99? But anyway, they wanted to see what people thought of it. Probably rating, if it's 29, nope, could be. The new theme song used for WWE SmackDown is Born to Run by a band of lions. The 7 Lions, to be exact. Rose Mendez Primo Epico is going to be appearing at the Metro PCS store in Kalamazoo, Michigan, March 2nd, 3 p.m. Please make a note of it. And WWE Senior Vice President of Special Events, John Sabor, will give students a Full Sail University behind-the-scenes look at WWE live events on February 14th, 3 p.m. On the campus there. And the event's titled Business of the WWE, A Conversation with John Sabor. Whoever that is. Part of Bruno's deal, by the way, with WE is indeed a DVD produced on his career, and the deal will also see him possibly be a part of the WWE video game series. And it also looks like, hey, this could be a good sign. Undertaker may be appearing on tonight's Raw. There's a photo that's sent out by a guy named Justin, fan, was taken backstage in Nashville Predator hockey game on Sunday night in Nashville, the site of tonight's Raw. And it showed Taker there posing for a picture. So you think he's just hanging around, or he might show himself? Tonight's of course, he may come in there and get really bitchy about poor Vince's hip surgery. Tonight's WWE Raw is taking place at Bridgestone Arena, Nashville, Tennessee. Confirmed for tonight's show is an appearance by The Rock. Brock Lesnar is previously advertised, but since been removed from the listing. Lesnar still teases in a WWE bullet points for tonight's show, but Jericho is also going to be there. And no match has been announced so far, except for Cena and Ryback taking on Punk and Ziggler, being advertised for the local crowd. And anyway, WWE focal points they put out is, what does The Rock have to say about Punk? Can anyone control Brock Lesnar, which they just brought him in because Heyman's probably there. Who's next on Mark Henry's sights, and which returning superstar is poised for a big 2013? And will John Cena, Ryback, Sheamus deliver justice? WWE Gerald Briscoe, he's been evaluating talent down in a third year in a row at George Tragos and Lou Thez Hall of Fame this weekend in Waterloo, Iowa. The event's going to be taking place July 12th at noon. If you're close to there, check it out. Go down there and give it a try. Don't be out of shape, though. Hey, Big Show missed last night's SmackDown event in Louisville, Kentucky. Wade Barrett filled in for the main event, losing to Alberto. And why would Big Show show up if he's going to probably lose to Alberto also? Don't know where he was. NXT star Conor O'Brien worked last night's live event in Louisville, losing to Brodus Clay. And Rey Mysterio is still not back on the road full time with WWE, but Sin Cara continues the team with the Great Khali for SmackDown live events. Former WWE Intercontinental, oh, I done told you about Ken Shamrock's birthday. I guess I must have got excited about it and put it on here twice. Oh, and Big Show gets the superstar spotlight on WWE's website. The champion of Rock commented on Twitter about tonight's Raw from Nashville. He said, in 1996, I wrestled at flea markets, fairs for $40 a night. Cool to be back where it all started. Nashville, bring it. Hey, with TNA gearing up for next month's March 14th episode of Impact Wrestling from Hoffman Estates, Illinois, just outside of Chicago. Ticket sales for the show are going strong, it says. The seats were selling for $73, $43, $23 are already gone. There are still tickets available in the $13 one, nosebleed, as well as VIP suite seating for $125. That is a really big nosebleeding if you get your nose out there too far, which includes a pre-show meet and greet and greet with TNA wrestlers. It's possible more seating will go on sale as it gets closer to the event, but good sign for TNA, though. I'm not sure how big a haul that is. But ImpactWrestling.com has announced that TNA is teaming up with Machinima Sports to feature a newly relaunched TNA reaction show as a part of the Machinima Sports YouTube channel. Don't know anything about that. WWE.com has launched a photo gallery of, I don't know why they say this, kids from Ohio Valley that changed WWE. Because the people weren't kids, but anyway, maybe to get their attention. Ohio Valley Wrestling, once the developmental territory for WWE, which I've talked about quite a bit, produced some of the industry's top performers, including Cena, Lesnar, Orton, and Batista. OVW is now, of course, developmental for TNA. I don't know what happened there. So WWE went down south to Florida. WWE.com has published the top 10 list of the most dateable superstars and divas, if you want to check it out. And I'm not even on it. I thought I would at least been there on some way, shape, or form. But anyway, I'll have to wait maybe next year. NBC Universal announced Monday that they're partnering up with Esquire magazine to rebrand their G4 cable network. The new Esquire channel will launch soon as an upscale Bravo for men. That's kind of what it is, I guess. The news is relevant to the wrestling world because recently, as last summer, WWE was interested in purchasing the G4 in hopes of rebranding it as WWE Network. I didn't know that. Do now. One of the biggest WWE hurdles is launching the network has been getting clearance from cable companies, and acquiring G4 would help for that. As noted before over this weekend, cable provider DirecTV, which I was telling you about, issued a survey to their subscribers regarding the launch of the premium channel. Subscription-based WWE Network would run original programming, classic footage, and all live WWE pay-per-view events, which is good, except for WrestleMania, that's okay. But I think that'd be a good focal point there if you're doing about, if you only got $12.99 a month, you get to see the live pay-per-view events. I think it'd be great. And a little FYI though, at one point UFC was also interested in buying G4 to launch their own network. Apparently didn't happen. Don't know where G4 is. I don't have it on our channels. Hey, thanks for clicking, you guys. Almost fell asleep. I gotta go.